Hello and welcome to Markets View at Deven Choksey, your daily market podcast where we decode the Indian financial markets. To start with GIFT Nifty, the GIFT Nifty this morning is trading higher, which is indicating a start in the green for the Indian markets. Talking about the Asian markets opened largely on a lower trend as Hang Seng is trading with a downtrend of around 0.4%, whereas Nikkei is trading with a downtrend of around 0.5%. Talking about the US markets, US futures slightly are higher after cash market ended in the green on Tuesday. The US market we see are up around for fourth straight trading session on the line of inline inflation print, and Nasdaq is of course outperforming with an up move around 0.5% to 1%. US November inflation is at 0.1% on a month-on-month basis versus estimate of 0.1%. So US November core inflation is at 0.3% on a month-on-month basis versus estimate of 0.2%. US CPI was an important economic indicative action, an important economic indicative trigger, which was something we need to consider and which everyone was observing. Now that the numbers are out, we need to see how is the impact of the US inflation data on the overall markets. The US 10-year yield falls below 4.2% ahead of FOMC decision on interest rates. So FOMC decision on interest rate is another very important economic indicative action which one needs to watch out for, as its impact will be seen in the tomorrow's trading session. Talking about the energy pack, the crude oil is falling to lowest level in 6 months. At present, it is trading at around $73 a barrel on supply concerns. So clearly, if we see, the market sentiments are on a mixed note, as we see GIFT Nifty and Asian markets are trading largely with an up move. However, US market also did show signs of an up move, but don't forget that we have two important triggers which the market needs to digest. The US November core inflation, the US CPI data, as well as the FOMC rate decision, which will be coming today, and it is an important economic indicative trigger which the market will forecast and observe. So these are the important global market triggers for the day. So it's the 13th of December, and let's take a look at the trade setup for today and the important levels which one needs to consider during the market session today. How the market sentiment looks like, taking the cues from what happened yesterday with the market close. The market participants seem to have turned cautious ahead of the FOMC meeting outcome and preferred to take profits off the table in the yesterday's session. Overall, the Nifty 50 remained range-bound, taking support at 20,850 to 20,800 levels and facing resistance at 21,000 to 21,100 levels. Hence, as long as the index holds this immediate support, the range-bound trade may continue, and if it trades about 21,000 for a few days, then another leg of the rally can be possible. In yesterday's session, Sensex did fall around 378 points to close at 69,551, while the Nifty 50 declined around 100 points again to close around 20,906 and formed, of course, a bearish pattern during the entire trading session. There was a lot of volatility we did see, of course, because of the economic indicative action and the FOMC meeting outcome, which investors were cautious about even before the outcome. We did see a little bit of profit taking, in fact a kind of noticeable profit taking in the yesterday's session. From the technical point of view, there has been a mere alteration in the price chart for Nifty, but there was a lot of volatility during the session yesterday, and we need to see what happens today. As far as the levels are concerned, 20,850 to 20,800 is likely to seem as immediate support, followed by the bullish gap around 20,700. On the flip side, 21,000 to 21,040 withholds a significant hurdle, followed by, of course, 21,100 level zone. So we need to consider this. Overall, the trend of the market is still positive, and the current dip should be used as a buying opportunity for sure. The market breadth was in favor of bears yesterday, but the broader markets had a mixed trend. About 1,371 equity shares declined against 758 advancing shares on the NSE. The Nifty Mid-Cap Index was up around 0.5%, and Small Cap Index did show gains of around 0.3% yesterday. So considering all of these and the yesterday's session, Let's now get into action and understand what are the key support and resistance levels which we will see today for both Nifty and Bank Nifty. Starting with Nifty, Nifty is likely to see immediate resistance at 21,002, followed by 21,043 and 21,108, while on the lower side it can take support at 20,872, followed by 20,832 and 20,766 levels. Talking about Bank Nifty, in yesterday's session, Bank Nifty was also under pressure, falling around 200 points to close at 47,098 and forming a bearish candlestick pattern on the daily charts. The lower end support for the index is positioned at 46,800, and a decisive break below this level could trigger additional downside movement towards 46,400 levels. With weekly expiry approaching, heightened volatility is anticipated. There are chances that there will be volatility and the market will see some action as well. Of course, stock specific action, but we are one day away from the weekly expiry, which we should not forget. The traders should exercise caution and implement strict stop loss measures on both sides of the market at present. The index is expected to see resistance at 47,357, followed by 47,463 and 47,635, while on the lower side it may take support at 47,013, followed by 46,907 and 46,735. So these are all the important resistance and support levels which one needs to consider for the trading session today. Let us now take a quick look at the stock specific action. We start with Wipro, as the technology services and consulting company has entered into a new agreement with RSA, one of the world's leading general insurance companies. Laurus Lab is another stock which will be in focus, as the US Food and Drug Administration has issued 5 observations in Form 483 for the manufacturing facility in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, owned by Laurus Synthesis, a wholly owned subsidiary of Laurus Labs. The inspection by the US FDA was conducted from 4th of December to 12th of December 2023. The next stock in focus is Indian Bank, as the public sector lender launched its qualified institutional placement issue on December 12th. The floor price has been fixed at rupees 414.44 paise per share. Another stock in focus is Ford Motors, as the automobile company has received board approval to acquire 12.21% shares in Target Price Surya, a wholly owned subsidiary of Tata Power Renewable Energy. And last but not the least, keep an eye on Shilpa Medicare, as Shilpa Medicare's Unit 6, Bangalore in Karnataka, has received approval from TGA Australia for the manufacture, labeling, packaging and testing of medicinal oral mouth dissolving films. The unit is engaged in the manufacturing and testing of oral mouth dissolving films and transdermal patches. So these are all the stocks and news one needs to consider. Let us now quickly take a look at the FIs and DIs action. The foreign institutional investors net bought shares worth Rs 77 crore, while the domestic institutional investors purchased shares worth Rs 1,923 crore on the 12th of December. So this is how the market sentiment for today's session looks like. Of course, there might be volatility seen, as there are a lot of economic indicative action doing rounds in the market globally and domestically both, as well as we are one day away from the weekly expiry. So of course, volatility is quite rational. With this, we come to the wrap of our podcast session for today. Irrespective of market conditions, as we always say and advise, research is the backbone of successful portfolio creation. Wealth creation is the art that we understand. We at Deven Choksey have our exclusive research services which are powerful and successful. To avail our exclusive research services, we invite you to join us. Just click on the link below and you're done. Fill in your basic details and our team will reach out to you. So don't wait any further and embark on a wealth building adventure together. Thank you and have a nice day.